can be what you wanna be. Be what you wanna be. You just be what you wanna be with me.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Happy AF. My name is Sambowker, and I'm super excited that you've decided to join me here today. So listen, Happy AF is the place to be if you want to master your mind and win the game of life. And today's episode is all about creating your life's ultimate vision. This is a topic that gets me so freaking pumped and so excited. And it is something that I have been leaning into very much so over the last few years, but especially in the last couple of days. And I found myself getting super pumped and excited with everything that's coming up for me, but also everything that's coming up for the people around me. And so I wanted to really get you, I wanted to what do I want to do? I want to lean in with you, okay? I want to lean in with you about what does vision even mean, right? And how do you know if you're living your vision? How do you know if you're on track? How do you know if you're actually heading in the direction that you need to be heading to get to where it is that you want to go? And I know that kind of might sound like a little bit of a silly question, but the reality is so many people are running around in this life that they are living, and they are passengers. They are passengers to their own lives. They don't really know where they're going. They don't really know what they want. They typically know what they don't want, but they most definitely are not really crystal clear about what an ultimate vision even looks like. Okay. And what I know is that I am so committed to making sure that I live every last minute. I want to make sure that every moment I am on this earth, I am showing up and I am getting the best out of every last breath that I take. And I really want that for you guys, because I know that when you live your life like that, it really does just become like this epic experiment. It's like an epic adventure where you're constantly out there and you're having fun and you're making connections, and it's a joyous experience. And this show is called Happy AF, right? So I want you guys to experience that. And so I thought, being that it's the start of the year, it would be a really good idea right now to get you to check in and have a really, deep reflect on where you are at currently, and are you on track to be where it is that you want to go? Do you even know what that looks like? So I want to just share with you a little bit about what I believe vision is about, right? Vision is not just goal setting, right? Vision is not your to-do list. Vision is not the things that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. Your vision is something that is compelling. It is something that you are driven. It is purpose-filled. It is divinely inspired. It is that thing that I truly believe each and every one of us has, whether we are aware of it or not. And so what I want to share with you today is, how can you tap into your vision? How can you get more clarity around your vision? And more importantly, how can you then put a plan in place to ensure that no matter what, you are not going to miss what life is all about? So I want you to just stop right now. And if you haven't got a pen and piece of paper, okay, pause this and go and grab yourself a pen and a piece of paper so that you can start writing some things down. Because as we go through this process together, okay, you are going to find things are going to come up and you're going to want to write them down. Now, don't stress if, like me, you are a podcast or, show watcher when you're driving, or you're on the treadmill at the moment, or you're being really, multitasking with your net time, as my good mate Tony Robbins calls it, no extra time, which I'm a huge fan of. So if you're doing this and you don't have the capacity to get a pen and paper right now, don't stress. You can do it later. You can do it again. But if you can, grab a pen and a piece of paper. Okay, good. So I want you to start just thinking about this session today as though I am in your lounge room and I am coaching you through to success, okay? My goal by the end of today's session is that I have either given you a lot more clarity about your vision, or depending on where you're at in this journey, if this is the first time you've even heard me talk about vision, or you've ever really, thought about the concept of a vision, then this is all brand new stuff for you. And don't worry, it's kind of like going back to kindy and trying to learn the alphabet in a day. It's not going to happen. So my intention is twofold. For those of you that this is brand new for, I just want to start, getting the juices flowing. I want to kind of start thinking about this as this is a recipe for life, okay? This is a recipe for your ultimate life vision. So I want you to just think about it like we're going to just put a little bit of this and a little bit of this, and we're going to start, massaging it and creating. We're going to go into your childlike resources. So this is a session where you get to be a kid, okay? Now, for those of you that are a little bit further along on the path, that's okay. I still want you to think of this as though you are a kid with no limitation, okay? No limitations on what you can do, no limitations on your areas of expertise. This is really just about tapping into what is it that you love doing? What is it that you're good at doing? What is it that you would do even if you weren't getting paid? I want you to think about it from that standpoint. No limitation, okay? So as you think about this from a place of no limitation, I want you to start thinking to yourself, okay, what if I could, would I do that would give me the greatest joy and pleasure, right? And this is not a time to get caught up in how would I do this? This is what would I like to do and why, right? So first you want to start with what, and then comes why, okay? So first, let's think about it. Start writing a list. Take a moment and just do a bit of a brain dump. This is a brain dump session. This is where there is no limitation. This is not where you go into, how am I going to do it? My brother said I couldn't do this. My father always said I wasn't good. Blah, 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 blah. You just blah, blah, blah that stuff. And this is where you write your list down. So start. What are those ideas? Those ideas that come to you in the middle of the night. When you wake up in the middle of the night and you have this crazy little idea, which sounds ridiculous, and you think to yourself, oh, who am I? If that idea has come to you, I'm telling you, it's part of your vision. It's there. You do not get messages that are not meant for you. Do not go around telling your ideas and visions to small-minded people because they can't see your vision. They haven't caught your vision. It has not been given to them. So take a moment and just write down. And if you need to pause this right now, pause and just take a moment to just think of every single thing that you think you could potentially do something with. It doesn't have to be work related. It just has to be some things that you think you're good at, some things you think you're interested in, and just this is where you want to brain dump. Okay, so for me, this is where my list would look something like snowboarding, horse riding, singing, traveling, meeting people, connecting with friends, helping people, coaching people, speaking. Like I would just, this is where you want to just dump. Okay, so go ahead and take a moment and fill this out. Just write as many things as you can, right? Okay, so now you've got this list. What I want you to do is I want you to look at this list and think to yourself, okay, if I had all the money in the world, time was no object, I had the education, I had the confidence, the self-belief, the determination, the commitment, the resources, if I had everything I need to make those things come to fruition, when would I like to have them achieved by? And I want you to go through and I want you to go 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, or more than 5 years, okay? So just 1, 3, 5, more than 5. That's all. It's a really simple process. Just take a moment, go through your list, and 1, 3, 5. Now what's going to happen as you start doing this, your little voice inside of your head, right? She's going to come up or he's going to come up and he's going to go, yeah, but how are you going to do that? And how have you got the time? And you're a single mum, or you've just broken up with someone, or you've got struggles right now, or there's problems, oh, it's not the right time. That's the best one. That's the best one. That's the biggest one that I come up with. My little inner critic, she's called Red. And trust me, whenever she is afraid, she comes up with the I don't have time. We don't have time right now. It's not the right timing. Okay, as an example, I've just been offered this amazing opportunity to go and study at the end of the year and do this work I really want to do. It's in America. It's going to take time. It's right at an inconvenient time of the year. I don't have the spare $10,000 it's going to cost me to do it. And so my brain goes, it's not the right time. Maybe next year. Do we really need to do it? We've already done lots of stuff like this. And it will come up and it will give you excuses. So I want you to pay attention. Hear those excuses. You can even write them down if you like. Put them to the side. But what I want you to do is just look at it. And if you didn't have any of those fears, worries, judgments, or concerns, I want you to write 1, 3, 5, more than 5 years. Okay, so this is your lifetime we're talking about, your ultimate vision for the rest of your life. Don't get caught up in how. You're going to win with why things are important, not with how. How is going to get caught in the way. It's going to stop you from even starting. It is the thing that stops more people from creating businesses, leaving relationships, starting relationships, studying, whatever. It is the number one thing that stops you, is the fear of that piece there. Okay, so don't worry about how. It's unimportant. Okay, so now, step one, you've written your list of everything, okay? Step two, you've written down 1, 3, 5, more than 5. Now, I want you to look at those things that you've listed down, and I want you to look at the things you've written in the 1 and 3 years, okay? And I want you to look at why. Why would you like to do those things? What would you feel would be the benefit of doing those things? How would it fill your cup up? How would you experience life if you were doing those things? What would other people think of you? What would the impact and knock-on benefits be for the people that you love if you achieved those things? Because one of the things I've noticed when we talk about vision, okay, is that often we spend an awful lot of time worrying about how it might come off for other people. Okay, I'm going to say that again. I need to take a quick drink here, because this is the moment, right? This is the moment. Let me just take a drink. Okay, we get caught up and we get worried about what other people are going to think when we start creating these ideas. Oh, what will people think of me? Oh, that's selfish. Oh, who am I to think I could do that? Oh, there's all these other people that are already doing that. And this is where all of the excuses and the justifications and trust me, you'll be able to justify reasons to not do things. You will have the best excuses under the sun. So I want you to pay attention to those. Pay attention, but I just want you to think, okay, if I could do these things, what does that look like? Right? 1, 3, 5, more than 5. And now why? Why is this important to me? Now, I'll give you an example, and I think this is probably pretty relevant for a huge portion of the population when it comes to a few different things, okay? One, for instance, not getting involved in relationships. People will go, no, but I don't have time. I'm too busy. I'm a single mum. I'll get involved. I'll find myself a partner when I've got the time to commit to it. That's been my big story for a long time. And it's only been in the last couple of years I realised that story was actually just a nonsense story I'd created to protect myself, because really, if I just dug deep enough, I realised I didn't want my heart to get broken. So I created a story and a pattern, okay? So it stopped me from that particular piece. Another one is money, okay? If you are not where you want to be financially, I guarantee you have some limitation and some limiting beliefs that are sneaking around in your subconscious, and they are causing you to behave in a particular fashion. Beliefs perhaps that could look a bit like, well, rich people are rude, or it's selfish to want more than what you need, or I shouldn't charge that, it's too expensive, people can't afford that. What else? What are your limitations around money? If you're not completely financially abundant, what are your limitations? What are the stories that you've got? So I want you to look at that, okay? Because when it comes to your vision for yourself, you owe it not just to yourself, but you've been gifted with things that you need to share, that the world needs. And if you get caught up in all of these little things over here, like, how am I going to do it? And what will people think of me? And all of these limited mindset, these limitations within your mindset, you get caught up in that, and you are stealing the gifts that have been given to you, that it is your duty to go out and share. And that is part of your vision. Your vision is your vision and your vision alone. And when you start speaking your vision, you will find there is a good chance that many people are A, not going to get your vision, and B, they're going to try and take you down a peg. And they won't be meaning to do it. Some of them might, but I genuinely believe most people are not actively trying to knock you down. But they do it because they have fear. They have fear about what that looks like. They have fear about what that actually means. And more importantly, they don't want you to get hurt. Their fear factor kicks in and they think to themselves, oh, how do I protect Sam? You know, I need to protect her from that. So I might point out all of the things that could go wrong instead of the things that could go right. I might say things to her that, for instance, you know, I had one of my great friends say to me today, you know, that she was talking about an experience that she had with one of her kids, and they had done something, and she was like, oh, you don't need to do that. Why does it need to be like that? And her kid had gone, well, why do you care? And when I confronted my friend, it was because it was all about him making a spectacle of himself. And the thing is that we're taught to not stand out from the crowd. We're taught to play small. We're taught to not think big, because when you think big and you stand out from the crowd, you have the opportunity to be taken down. And so a well-meaning loved one who can give you that as a belief early on in life and sell it to you as a truth and the only truth, the reality is they're just trying to protect you. So just know when you're creating your vision, right, people that love you, well-meaning people, they're going to knock you off course. And so before you, share and speak your vision into the world, it's so important, like so freaking important, that you have clarity yourself and you understand why. Because you are going to have people try and smack you down. And it doesn't matter whether they are well-meaning or whether they are, the naysayers on the planet. It doesn't matter. Or if it's just your own internal critic. The simple fact is, if you are not clear about what you want, i.e. what is the vision, and if you are not clear on why it matters, i.e. who is going to be impacted, for what purpose, what will this do, who will I be, who will it impact? If you are not clear on those things, when those negative critics kick in, I promise you they're going to knock you off course. And you may get there, but it's going to take you twice as long, if at all. Okay? I know I'm being a bit crazy and I know I'm harping on about this, but I truly believe this is my purpose on the planet. My purpose is to help you tap into your purpose. Right? My purpose is to help people step into their power, to go out and shine bright, to be unapologetically themselves, to go out and create whatever deliciousness that their creative resources have gifted them with. And so I know that along the way, I know I've been knocked off course many times, and I'm getting better and better, because the confident piece comes through competence, and competence can only come through practice. And so when you look at this show or any of the content that I create, my vision and my mission is all around helping people get happy. And I truly believe that you only get to be happy when you're living your life on purpose, i.e. living the vision that you've created for yourself. And if you don't create a vision for yourself based on your own knowingness, based on your own insights and awarenesses, somebody else is going to have you living their vision. And everybody here on the planet that has ever had a well-meaning friend or parent or cousin or brother or sister have an opinion about what you're doing, you know what I'm talking about. You may not have understood it at the time, but I'm telling you, it is their limitation, not yours. So this is why this work is so important, because I really believe, hand on heart, that if everybody on the planet was out there doing the thing that they are meant to be doing, utilizing their natural gifts, things they find easy. Right now, I'm not talking about, we talk a lot about find your passion, live your purpose. That's great, okay? I have a passion for singing. Now, I don't know, maybe I was meant to be a singer. Maybe that was supposed to be my gift. I really don't know. But let's just say that I have a passion for playing guitar, but I'm rubbish at it. Well, I might find places I can play guitar, but it's maybe not the thing I'm meant to be doing on this planet. It's maybe not my gift. So I want you to think about your vision being attached to your natural gifts and your natural talents, those things which you don't think are that special, right? Those things that you can do easily and effortlessly, that you don't even think they're that great, because for you it just comes so naturally. For me, it's talking, it's thinking on the spot. This is one of those things. I can jump in here, I can have a clear idea of, or even just a small idea of what I want to talk about, and I can jump in and I can talk and I can share, and I don't have my notes. And for years, that was the thing that stopped me, because the person I was most inspired by in terms of my immediate sphere of influence, and the person I looked up to most was my dad. And my dad is like my best friend. He's amazing. He's super clever, but we are so different when it comes to this stuff. And so I wanted to do these kinds of things, and he would explain it to me in the way he would do it, which makes perfect sense for him, but it wasn't the way I needed to do things. And so it stopped me from actually taking those actions. And I don't say this to you to put shit on him or any family member that's trying to help you, but I need you to understand, you know how to do things for you. Seek out guidance and get the support and get the help you need. But the reality is that you know in your heart how to do the things you want to do. And the only thing that's stopping you is the story you've created about it having to be done in a particular way. So going back to your vision, okay, I want you to think, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What is the thing that excites you most? And if you just took actions towards that thing, what would it look like? 1 year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? Who could you be? What could you create? Who could you impact if you really stayed in alignment with your vision? My name is Sambowker. I am an authentic, courageous, connected leader. And my mission on the planet is to love, lead, inspire, and have fun and be a shining light for humanity. I'm an authentic, courageous, connected leader. And I want to help you live your life happy AF. So I want you to go back, if you haven't already done what I've just shared with you today, go and grab a pen and a piece of paper and start writing your vision down. And once it becomes a bit clear, read it every day, look at it, sleep with it, create a vision board, do whatever you need to do to breathe life into the magic you've created. And bring your friends along. Start speaking it into life. But just remember, never tell your big vision to a small-minded person unless you are really clear about where you're going, because I promise you they won't mean to, but they're going to smash your dreams down and you're never going to get to where you want to go. Now, I've created a little magic PDF that goes along with this show that you can jump into, and you know, it's going to help you stay on track creating your vision. And there's also a little hypnosis recording to help you listen each night to lock in your vision for where it is that you want to go. So feel free to download that as well. Just chuck in the comments here and I'll hook you up. All right, my guys, my beautiful friends, my family, my extended worldwide watchers, I hope you are having an amazing day, and make sure you like and subscribe and share this to a loved one who you think could benefit within creating that great vision for their life. I love you guys, and I will see you at the next episode. Bye.
You just be what you want.